polyGONE, the shape game, is a game loosely based off of Bohnanza, a commercial game. Both games have a lot of collecting, trading, selling of cards. In the case of the shape game, we do this with different shape cards, which are blueprints for jewels. This game is played with rounds, and each round has 4 phases, and the group plays each phase as a group together instead of taking turns. The game really focuses on the relationships between quadrilaterals and the relationships between different triangle types. For the quadrilaterals, we spend a lot of time thinking about the hierarchy and what makes a shape a type of shape. And like what makes a parallelogram, for example, a type of trapezoid. Or thinking about the different examples of types of rhombus and what different shapes go under that shape family. For the triangles, we have different questions and different ideas. Let's get to the good part. How is this game played? So the game is played in rounds with 4 phases in each round. The players in the game move through the rounds together, going through the phases one at a time until the round is finished, and then you do another round until you get to the goal amount of money. So the 4 phases of the round are the delivery phase, market, transportation, and payday. Let's look at a quick overview of this game. In this game, we have this game board here with a couple diagrams for help, as well as the draw pile and discard pile. Each player will get a board like this one. Let me show an empty one for an example. You have your transportation box, you have your vault for your 2 collections, and then your box for sold collections. So the game is played in rounds. Each round has 4 phases. The phases are delivery, market, transportation, and payday. So in the delivery phase, you're going to move 1 or 2 jewels from your transportation to your vault. The rules about collections in the vault, triangles, they have to have one attribute that matches. So for example, my isosceles obtuse will go with my isosceles right because it'll be a collection of isosceles triangles. Later, I will not be able to put a scalene right triangle because it is not isosceles. For the quadrilaterals, it has to follow the hierarchy. So the main question is the card that you picked up from transportation a type of the card here? And a rectangle is not a type of square, so I cannot put the rectangle there. However, I may sell this collection, place it in my sold box, and then I can collect this shape if I wanted to. For the next phase, each player will pick up 1 card from the middle here, and then we will share what each of us picked up, and then we will trade them if we would like, or keep them in our own vaults. We're also allowed to trade any of the cards down here in transportation.
Let's watch a brief recording of these players playing the market phase of the game.
Hey, what do you got?
I'll give you a trapezoid.
I want a trapezoid. You have a kite on.
Anyone want a trapezoid?
As players bargain with each other, they explain to their fellow players what the different attributes of shapes are and the relationships within the hierarchy, as well as the relationships between the different triangles.
After that, we have the transportation phase, where you simply move cards over and then refill up your transportation. So I'm just going to do that for each one of these players, and then you'll just draw cards from the draw pile to refill that up. The next phase is the payday phase. During this phase, you're going to count all the money that you have made through the round, and you look at your sold collections and add up all of that, and make sure to include any bonuses if you have a large enough collection.
Let's go back to the example game. First, a player checks with the other players if everyone is done with the market phase, and they move on to the transportation phase, where they fill up the bottom box of their board. Finally, to the payday phase, where they take care of their collections and mark down on their scrap pieces of paper how much money they have made.
So as a group, you're going to move through these 4 phases: delivery phase, market, transportation, and payday. And whoever is the first one to get to 5,000 will announce it to the rest of the group. And you will have one more round. You'll go through those phases one more time. And whoever has the most money at the end will get to buy the rarest jewel of all, which is the whole point of the game.
Now that we've seen a quick overview of the game, let's look more into the design of the game.
The cards in this game are especially designed to help players gain a broader understanding of shapes and the attributes of shapes and how they're interrelated. They help to show the different important aspects of what makes a shape, for example, congruent lines or congruent angles, as well as lines of symmetry, parallel lines, and as well as the different representations you can find within shapes, like the two kites here. The same is shown with the triangles. We can see different important aspects of angles and congruencies and lengths as well. Be really useful for sorting activities or matching activities, or just really a better understanding the attributes of shapes and the names of shapes. I hope that this game can be used in the classroom and it can be used for a lot of different activities. It has potential for different variations, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens.
Huge thank you to the Math 496 class for playtesting and giving me such great feedback, and thank you to everyone who has tested the game out so patiently.